Sports Chasers Podcast. Coming to you live and direct with your host and your moderator, Kevin L. Warren. This is a real sports podcast for real fans.
What's up, everybody? What's going on, everybody? It's another edition of the Sports Chasers Podcast. Hope everybody's doing good. Happy Thursday to you. Hope you've had a good week. All right, man, a lot to get into with the world of sports tonight. We got a couple of coaches leaving.
Oh, no.
You got to let me finish, D.
No. Well, today, folks, we are here to give flowers to the dearly departed Nick Saban and Coach William B. Belichick. We will go on today about all of their Lifetime Achievement Awards, where they have been and where they are going. Fuck that. They just left the job, everyone. They're not dead. They don't need flowers. They're getting checks. Don't need flowers. They're getting checks. We need to stop with this over glamorizing of a dude leaving a job. Cats get fired every day on TV in sports. I'm guaranteeing you there's another coach fired today. And you won't hear shit about that dude until he goes to unemployment on Monday to get that next job.
So,
yeah, there you go. I'm sorry, Kev.
That was one call to action.
God's work first. God's work first.
Here's my call to action. Make sure you like, click, and subscribe to the channel.
God's work first.
Make sure to the YouTube channel. Make sure you share the channel. Also on the podcast side, make sure you give us that 5-star review on Apple and on Spotify. And also respond and give us that great review. We greatly appreciate to those that's listening to the sound of our voice. So as I forestated before, the preacher DA came through and gave his sermon. We're going to talk about that. Hey, Michigan was the men among boys, and they pounded on Washington the other night. They beat them 34-13. We'll talk about that a little bit. We'll talk about NFL Super Wild Card weekend coming up. We'll talk about some of the matchups. I got the NHL Power Rankings and some of Dan's notes. And we also have the NBA Power Rankings, and we'll talk about a little sports business. The Pac-12 will take $50 million to rebuild. Why? With that said, we waited a little bit. Again, our apologies. We was waiting for some personnel to come through. It's me and D tonight. The Angry One and D-Dub will join us here shortly, man. But let's meet DA. Well, y'all met DA already because he gave us a sermon. Thus saith, I don't know which where he was coming from out of what scripture he was, but DA, say hello to the people again, bro. How are you tonight? Good morning. Good evening, I should say.
Well, flowers. We're giving flowers. I'm not sure why, but we are.
We're giving checks.
And
they're
flowers.
getting checks. We're not giving flowers. I think that's the name of DA's sermon.
Yeah, I'm so done. Listen, man, it's a soul.
So go ahead, man. Go on your rant, man. You might as well.
Okay. This is what grinds my.
Get it, bro.
This is what got me right now, right? And I'm not saying it because I'm an old dude, and I'm, because I don't. I think about things a lot differently. So people say, listen, man, you gotta give people their flowers. First off, that's something that people say that you do to people who are dead. And dead people don't give a fuck about the flowers. They're dead. That's part one, right? If you're going to appreciate someone, you're going to appreciate them too, right? The sport's not going to end. These guys didn't invent coaching, and it's not going to stop. We can appreciate what they did, but the overkill that I saw today before I went to physical therapy was just a mess. I'm like, oh yeah, well, when Belichick was a coach in Cleveland, y'all sucked. He got fired. So evidently there was some lessons learned that he had to take from there that he used. And even as a coach, this is still a team sport. So for all of the detractors of Bill Belichick, and I'm not one of them, I think he's a great coach. Everyone's still going to say that, well, he still ain't do nothing without Tom Brady. So it's either, I'm going to get this wrong, and all the older people to me, just please don't kill me. It's either a dozen in one hand and a half dozen in another, right? Because the people that don't like him are going to tell you that it's, this is the Brady thing. Dude wasn't that good. Period. And when I jump over to my boy Saban, and I like Alabama, I like winners, so I dig that. But my point with him is that he was just playing the game early. He was paying kids early. He always had the best kids in the country. You can go back and look at their recruiting every year from the time, not even from the time he got there, probably from the time that he was at LSU.
So let's talk about that, D. Since we'll get to the game in a little bit. So let's talk about Coach Saban. So there's been reports that over the last couple of years, he's over the NIL and the transfer portal thing. And we reported earlier in the year how your main man in Clemson, he wasn't playing that game of NIL, and he said he's going to do it the old-fashioned way and stuff like that. And we all know they're being sanctimonious with that. Go ahead.
I don't think Saban got a problem with paying because he's been paying.
Right.
I do believe Saban when he says he's old and he's getting old and he doesn't feel the same. And I'll tell you why. There is one part of the Alabama team and the LSU team, and even funny as sets going back to Michigan State, that he personally used to take under his control. Is he coached the defensive backs. And that's why you can always go back and see all the nice defensive backs that came out of Alabama, because that's what he would do himself. And I think over the last few years, you would see that their DB play really fell off because I could tell that because he was getting old and he wasn't paying the same amount of attention to that part of the team that he used to. Now he brought on some offense and offensive coordinators because he never did that before. They were just a defensive squad, the juggernaut, so forth and so on. But I think he was getting old, and I think he was getting tired. And yes, Kevin, with the advent of NIL, which may, I guess, confuse things a little bit. I don't think it changes it because if he's going to pay a kid, he's going to pay a kid anyway. Right. But I think what happens is that transfer portal is, I think, the thing that's hurting most teams is the portal, because I think that there used to be a kind of a saying that, listen, if you wanted to be a running back at Miami, you had to sit for 2. Guaranteed you have to sit for 2 years if you want to play running back in Miami, because you got 2 nice guys in front of you, right? And that's just the way football's been built for years. But now, you don't want to, if you think you should be playing next year, you just get in the portal at the end of the year. Now, I say it's like drugs, right? So everyone says, oh, man, and please, guys, don't jump on me. I'll just give you imaginary country. The tip toppers are selling all their crack cocaine to America. Well, if America wasn't buying crack cocaine, the tip toppers couldn't sell it to us, right? So the point I'm making is, yes, kids get into the portal because they want to play. The problem is there are other teams that are always willing to take these players. Because if there were not, I'll use a curse word, if there was collusion between the teams, if Kevin Warren wanted to leave because he was backing up Darryl Warren as a running back, and he wanted to go from Clemson to North Carolina because he know he can play in North Carolina. There's 2 things that have to happen. Kevin has to get into the portal at Clemson, and the coach at North Carolina has to take Kevin out of the portal. So there's a way to stop this. Let's not put this on the kids. The reason why Saban is leaving because he can't get any backing from the other coaches to say, if my kids jump in, holler at me first. But that's what they did before. So I'm just pulling up the veil on this whole ish. So if you talk to each other, it's fine. But if Kevin wants to leave and doesn't tell Coach Saban he wants to go, and then Matt Brown said, we'll take you, Kevin. We know you're a good running back. You took all the power from Saban. Like Saban can't even sit Kevin down in a game because Kevin fumbled. Want to know why? Oh, you know what? Okay, coach. I'm gonna call my mama. We're gonna North Carolina next year.
Well, that's exactly what's going on. and you know this because you kind of you've been through some of that stuff, D, where the helicopter parents, they are just really, really overbearing in all this recruiting things. And talked to a buddy of mine off air. Shout out to my main man. I'll just call him Jay. Jay, former collegiate player, and he was just saying how it's absolutely crazy how these things go on between the parents and the coaches. And like you said, Saban is old. He said he was old and probably over it. Okay, so follow-up question, D. Who do you think replaces him at Alabama?
They were talking a lot about other. There are a few things that you have to do that, and especially in the SEC, right? So you got to be a good people person. Forget about being a coach because your biggest bear as a coach in the SEC is alumni, the boosters, and those
alumni boosters. Correct.
That's coaching the kids is a whatever thing because you actually have a staff to coach the kids and to recruit the kids. Because if everybody thinks that it's the head coach on a college football team that's recruiting every kid, I got a bridge to sell you. He may recruit 4, 5 stars that he'll go to their house. Everybody should get recruited by the running back coach, offensive line coach, whatever position you play, that coach will come and he'll be the one that's recruiting you from the time you're a sophomore or something like that. And he'll come see you and do all those things, right? So you're going to have to find a guy that has some cachet. The Alabama alumni is crazy. Their money is stupid. So you're going to have a coach at the kind of strength of Texas type of place to do it. Like, as funny as it sounds, as bad as he is, Jimbo Fisher probably would be great for this job because he's been at Florida State. He's been at Texas A&M. He knows how to handle certain things, but I just don't think he handles the coaching right, and his mouth is too big. But I hope it's someone young, but it's going to be someone young with that type of, experience. I think Alabama, I just heard today somebody thinks that they're going to be really, really bad because they're not going to be able to get players. I'm like, no, that's not as long as they're playing, they're going to get what they want.
There was a couple of players that decommitted and stuff like that.
But there's more to come in. So.
Yeah, there's more to come in. I think it's very interesting. I heard reports of what's my man out in Oregon.
No, he said no already.
He said no already. Okay, I didn't hear that.
My thing is, I'm sorry, everyone. Why him? What did he do? Nothing. What did he win? You're in the conference where they don't play defense, and you were in the number 1 team. You only got one side of the ball to coach, homie. Nobody from that conference, and we'll get to that Pac-10 money thing in a second, but that is an absolute joke. Rebuild what and why? Right? So you're going to tear down the building to rebuild the building? What are we, stupid? If we thought the Pac-10 was right, then just leave it as is. Oh, but you know what they want to do? They want to add some more teams. They want to put some other teams up in that Pac-10 from the San Jose State. And fuck out of here. No one's going to watch those games. No one watched them when it was USC and UCLA.
Only till this year, I thought the Pac and to me, you know why that happened? The Deion effect. Yeah. Who was in the Pac-10 and he's going to the Big 12. Colorado's going to the Big 12 next year.
Everybody else is leaving too.
Yep.
It wasn't like USC is going to be there next year. Come on, man. Yo, listen, people, fans,
check it out.
You're being built. They're selling you the same car twice because there's no reason for you to. What is your reasoning for giving $50 million to rebuild? What do we? Why? Why are we getting rid of it? Why don't you just reorganize it now without getting rid of it? So who's paying for this $50 million?
We'll get into our sports business side here.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Whose cable bill has to go up to pay for the advertising to watch a USC game that you're not watching anyway?
That's 100% fact. You got any takers for Alabama head coach job? You said Bowden. You don't know yet.
I don't know who. It'll be somebody young, exciting. It'll be someone you probably don't know. That's what I hope. That's from the Alabama side, because I don't think another coach will leave. Because college football. Oh, they did say my best friend Urban Meyer. That's what I did hear.
I heard that, and then they said, "Nah." I heard your main man, Lane Kiffin.
Oh boy, Lane, they don't want Lane back. Laney be on the yard smoking trees with young girls. You know what being Laney out there, bro. You don't want Laney out there.
I heard reports of him, man, but I don't want. So the dude out in Oregon, he said no already. So it's gonna be interesting to see that. Nick Saban, and like I said, his flowers, whatever. He did win 7 national championships.
Great teams.
Great teams, and he did it without main quarterbacks. Just recently.
Yeah. Well, you got 3. This is the last 3 he had was probably the best 3 ever had.
Best 3 ever. Yes, 100%.
And he never had any off the field stuff. But the funny thing with college football is that that's the big thing, right? That's why people don't want to leave those jobs. That's why people don't think having a pro football coaching job is better than having a college football job, because college coach, you run the whole town. So if something did happen in Alabama, you probably wouldn't hear about it.
And
you know what I mean?
That's what he found out when he came to Miami to coach.
Yeah, sure.
Yep. He found out being the head coach, you wasn't in charge of everything.
Yeah, you got accountability. He's like, what? I don't know. I don't do that.
And fate has itself to tempt us, right? What would have happened if Drew Brees would have been his quarterback instead of what you call it at the time? I can't think. Before they made that trade.
Who was it? It was Drew Brees and was it Rivers? No. Drew Brees left. He was in Miami.
He was in Miami for a second. JR can bring that up for it, but the trade from Miami to the Saints or wherever when Nick Saban was there, that could have changed things differently. Sometimes it's just that one move, and it just the 6 degrees of separation. It changes every and anything. So, it's definitely all good. But like I said, 7 championships. Nick Saban, he's one of the best to have done it. I think he's the best college football coach of all time. So shout out to, as they call him, Saint Nick. Let me move.
He got 107 dudes in the NFL right now. I think something like that, some crazy number. So.
Yep, and it's somebody's defensive lineman, somebody's offensive lineman. Somebody's wide receiver, somebody's running back, somebody. And the last, like you said, last couple quarterbacks he's putting there. 2, who was the other one?
Jalen and Mac Brown. That's 3.
Yep. 100%.
Not Mac Brown.
No.
Matt, golly gee, with the Patriots. I'm sorry, bro. What's his name up there with the Patriots? Mac Jones. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Matt Jones, yeah.
I said Mac Brown, 85 years old.
Gotcha, man. Let's move on to the game real quick. Not really much to talk to. Washington closed the gap to 20-13, but I never, ever felt that they was going to win this game. Let me read this from the AP. Houston. In Houston, Jim Harbaugh raised the championship trophy as gold and white confetti sprayed over his team, and "We Are the Champions" blared throughout the stadium. 9 years after he took over the Michigan job, Harbaugh delivered on the lofty expectations he brought with him to his beloved alma mater. Blake Coleman ran for 134 yards and 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns as Harbaugh and top-ranked Wolverines, undefeated by suspensions and a sign-stealing case that shadowed the program, completed 3-year service to a national title by beating number 2 Washington 34-13. So, what's going on, bro? How are you tonight, man?
What's going on, family? How y'all doing on this
all right,
Sports Chasers Thursday?
Yeah. So, we were just talking about Washington and Michigan game. Eric, I'll just say this, guys. I said it early. Michigan had men. Washington didn't have no man because they dominated the line of scrimmage on both sides, on both the offensive side and the defensive side. And as you can see, Corum run, Edwards ran, and it was never ever in doubt to me how they absolutely did, how they won that game, 34-13. D, what you got on that?
This is gonna be real short and simple. You know how we do. The reality is simple, man. There's levels to this shit. I keep saying this, man. The way I've been told it since I've played any sport, the way you practice is the way you play.
Yep.
Right. So if you don't have any offensive lines or running your whole league, you're not going to be good at stopping that kind of stuff. Right. And I'm not saying it because I live in the South, but I still think that Georgia was probably the best team in the country. Had they had to play, they probably would have beat everybody based upon what we saw. But Washington, they're a good defense for the Pac-10. That means nothing against Michigan. That's a team that runs the ball. And that's all it is. It's who you recruit, the type of ball you play, and the way you practice is the way you play. And that's basically how it turns out every year. This is why this thing has to be done via computer, because you can have the champion you want every year with people choosing it.
Right.
So, yeah, I think it was a great game. Great for Michael Penix. Everybody, it's all good, but we have to look at history, and you'll always see, going back to when I was a kid, you'll get a good offensive linemen and tight ends out of Michigan. You always find some receivers and great quarterbacks out of Washington, great running backs out of Georgia, defensive linemen that are coming out of Alabama. Florida State, you're going to have. Dog, it don't change. I have not remembered since I was a child a Pac-10 team with a great defense. I think it was Teddy Bruschi and the Arizona Wildcats. Last great one.
Maybe. Yeah. Last one. You're right, there. When you think of the Pac-10, Pac-12, you just think about a high-flying offense. That's it.
That's how they recruit kids. This is why if one day I'll try to do the breakdown, but this is how they recruit to conferences. That's why whenever it's golly, gee, all those quarterbacks come out the Pac-10. What came first, the chicken or the egg? Right? So you're good at offense with the quarterbacks, so quarterbacks are going to go there. You know what I'm saying? So you're always going to get a quarterback in the Pac-10, right? You're always going to get a running back to go to the SEC because that's where you reap the most fruit. You go to the NFL as a running back out of the SEC before you go to the NFL as a running back out of the Big Ten or somewhere else. And I'm not the Big Ten because, you still have Ron Dane and, Wisconsin schools that run the ball a whole lot. But believe me when I tell you, man, this is a science. It's been this way for a long time. Go ahead, E. Sorry, I'm done.
Oh, no, I'm going to be short and sweet with it too, man. Pause. Man, Michigan was on a mission, man. And I'm not going to be the petty guy up here saying who should have been there. We're not doing that. But Washington, like you said, Washington's in the Pac-12. There wasn't really no dominant teams. After, USC had their first loss, everybody kind of poo-pooed on the Pac-12 for the rest of the year. Nobody really believed in Oregon like that. Nobody really believed in, Washington came up, but it was still like, they're cute. They got flashy offense. But like Kev said at the jump, man, Michigan got them dogs. They had dogs. And anybody that knows football, like we know football, you start out building the trenches and work your way out, not the other way. So that's how Michigan was built. And it showed. The gaps that them dudes was running through. Come on, man. There ain't nothing else to say. I ain't got nothing else to say. I will say, it was still, of course, a great season for Washington. Thank y'all for coming out. God bless and good night, because that's all it was.
JR was hounding my main man Penix Jr. He said, what did JR say? I gotta go back to my super producer. Shout out to my super producer here, man. What did he say here about Penix Jr.? If he can, I'm trying to read here.
Oh, the kid can play, man. I got
his true colors. He also got hurt in the game. Well, he didn't have no time, man. He didn't have no time, and that's alluded to the fact that they didn't have a lot. Michigan's they front 3-4 kept coming, and here comes On
Okay, here it comes right now. Hell,
Oh my goodness, really? Really? Did that just come in the mail? Really?
Hey,
This
man.
guy's in the transfer portal for real.
Yeah,
What's
he's
up, D?
Hey, bro.
Yes.
We roll with the winners, kid.
He's Don King. I'm gonna leave with the winner now.
Hey, roll with the
I'm
winners.
leaving with the winner. But you think about it, man. Penix is used to that from when he was playing in Indiana, getting chased up and down the field by Michigan. That's the hardest part about college football, is that you can see the haves and have-nots. You can see it all the way through. You can see it all the way through, man. And Washington is a have, but up against Michigan, they were a have-not.
Yeah.
They're getting on you in the comments. Mike Millie said in Michigan, he's got to be stopped.
It's too late, man.
Stopping us now.
It's too late.
Ain't no stopping us now.
Hey, man, yo, it was a good game, but Washington didn't have enough, bro. They didn't have enough. Yeah, they just didn't have enough. That front line, but Michigan defense was tough, man. I thought it was I was thinking, I said maybe they just had a good game against Alabama, but they was the truth. They was the truth. Getting to Michael Penix, I don't know. He had a good game, but wasn't good enough. And he'll go off to the draft.
They're never going to be. Washington
What's
will
up?
never have enough to beat Michigan. They just don't recruit that way. They're not at the top level of recruiting to get those kids. They don't.
Unless they catch them on a bad night.
It'll have to. No, it had to be that year, like when I said like Wake Forest, and where like their whole team is seniors, and Michigan's got a bunch of sophomores. Then they'll beat them. But that's not going to happen. That's not the way football is going to be going forward. So it's not going to be good for, like, Washington will be who they are, but what they're going to go to the Pac-10, right? Or the Big Ten, or what? 10 Ben 10.
I don't know where they're going now. I mean, everything.
They're going to the Big Ten.
Okay, so yeah, they're going to be a middle of the pack team. They will never win the Big Ten there. I'm just letting you know, because they'll be behind Ohio State, Michigan, and Penn State every year.
Okay, that's well said. College football, I thought it was a good year. It was a very interesting year. We had a lot of highlights. It started out with out there in Boulder, Colorado, with Deion Sanders and the Colorado Buffaloes, and he brought a lot of whether you liked it, hated it, or loved it, or indifferent to it, brought a lot of attention to it. And I thought it was a good year for college play football. A lot of controversy with the 4 getting in, but next year we don't have that problem because 12 getting in, and I don't want to hear anything no more.
You're going to hear it, sir. I don't even know why you even said that. You know you're going to hear it.
Listen, man. All I say is, be prepared to be unprepared. Be prepared to be uncomfortable, because this shit is changing, and it's never going back. Nope. So, coaches, everybody's going to figure out how they're going to do this going forward, because Saban is leaving because he could not keep up with it. Not because he can't coach.
That's definitely not that.
He can't.
He don't want to deal with the bullshit.
It's not even bullshit. It's not even bullshit, dog. It's the consequences of not being able to push down any discipline is so you only discipline some players back in the days, but now you can't tell Kevin Warren that he fumbled and he can't play. Want to know why? Because Kevin, man, fuck this. I'm going to Carolina next year. And he can go. And it's not Kevin's fault, because we were talking about before the show. It ain't Kevin's fault, because the coach of Carolina takes Kevin. So if the coach of Carolina said, I won't take Kevin, let me call Nick Saban to see what's going on and see why Kevin wants to leave Alabama. They don't do that. You know what they do? Oh, come on, Kevin.
Right.
Come on in, Kev. Come on in, Kev.
Right.
So they take your strength, your own homeboys, the coaches, are pulling your feet from right up underneath you.
100%.
Because parents have always complained. But back when I was a kid or younger, the coaches just didn't care.
Right.
The coaches just didn't care if my mother complained, which he didn't. But what I'm saying is they just didn't compare. They didn't care that my mother might have said, "Oh, Dorian's not." No, never, ever, ever, ever happened. You know, Dorian's not playing enough. No, that never happened. That never happened. So what I'm saying to you is that, that's not the problem. Parents will be who they are, and we're parents, and we're going to be assholes because we're always going to advocate for our kids. The reality was that there was a point in time where coaches was like, "Yeah, whatever," and parents just went on about their way. They went back to their seats and sat down. But now, since Coach Kevin will take, this other kid, shit, man, listen, you can't discipline a kid for fumbling, or not going to class, or doing whatever the hell they're doing.
Not now, no.
No.
It's definitely a different game, and we got to move on.
Definitely.
It's definitely a different game, and like the DA alluded to, it's not going back. It's what it is. It's the Wild Wild West, and you better buckle up.
Uh-huh.
You better buckle up. Let's move to the National Football League. We got wild card weekend coming up, Super Wild Card weekend coming up. But as the DA preached earlier, for those that missed it earlier, DA had a sermon. He said,
we heard it. We heard it.
The sermon was you don't get your flowers now, but you cash your checks now, or something like that to that effect. And DA, we might as well go on to Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick. Now we're hearing stories about either Bill was let go or they part in the ways or whatever. I think they both came to some mutual agreement, and it was time for them to go. I'll say this: if in any New England fans, if you want to push back, you can. But Bill Belichick, the coach, did some great things. He won 6 Super Bowls, 24 years with the organization. Did some unprecedented things, but Belichick's the general manager. Man, they haven't. I heard something the other day where they have not had a position player on the team that he has drafted within the last 8 or 9 years to repeat on the team. Go ahead, DA.
Bill don't care about that shit. All he care about is winning. And I've always said, I'm not, I'm not going to get to the best coaches, all the rest of that stuff, because I got my own coaching tree and I got my own thing I believe in. But what I do believe in is, as a coach, he's a great coach. And the second thing I think is that he's a great, I guess, psychoanalyst or psychiatrist, because what he did was recognize that I could get players that are in their 10th, 11th, 12th year that are good. I don't have to get all the snaps out of them, but they've gotten their money already and they are ready to win. And I can bring them in here for the Patriots and they will help us win a Super Bowl. And I never keep a guy on a team more than 2. I get rid of a guy a year before I should get rid of him, because I'm bringing in another guy in for the cheap. And I don't ask my players to do but so much. And he wins Super Bowls. I thought that was his thing to me. Because he got rid of dudes early, but he would always bring the dude in. What's the dude's name? Revis Island. Boom, 2 years, took short money. Stephon Gilmore, 2 years, short money. Running back here, Corey Dillon, year 2, short money. Come on, man. While he had the other dude playing DB, running back. What's the other dude? Wide receiver, putting out the chair. Troy Brown. And they cut him. He kept.
Remember they had
business,
Willie McGinnis.
Yeah,
right before his prime. He got him out of there.
Right
Everybody
before
questioned
that big contract. Right before Richard Seymour. Right before that, Lawyer Malloy and the other one.
Chandler Jones.
Yeah, listen. He business.
Gronk.
Listen, man.
Tom Brady.
Look, man. Hey, listen. 6 chips is nothing. You can't sneeze at the 6 chips, and that's just my thing with him. I think he's a great coach. I don't know how, as a teacher, how great he was, because every coach that coached underneath him was hot garbage. So I don't know how you want to say that translation happened, because every coach that coached underneath him was hot. That left them became hot garbage wherever they went. So I'm not necessarily sure what that means per se, but what I am saying is this: to the winner, goes the spoils, and they get to tell the history, and he gets to do that because he won. So I give him his props, man. Give him his props.
Gotcha. So Belichick leaves. There's plenty of coaching opportunities open. You have in Washington. Vrabel was fired by Tennessee. I think I was talking to E the other day how that came about, how that ship just fell off. Let me go back to Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll, they came to some kind of mutual. Was he fired or whatever he was? But Pete Carroll's no longer the coach. He brought Seattle their one lone Super Bowl. Should have been 2, but we all know what happened with that next year. But we're not we're not going to revisit that. But Pete Carroll was a good coach. He's one of the only few that has won a Super Bowl and a national. He was fired. Thank you, JR. He's only one of the few that won a national championship in college football and won a Super Bowl. So
let me just say this real quick, Kev. It was reported that they went, both sides went their mutual way, their separate ways. But if you look at that press conference, it ain't look like Pete Carroll went his own way or had a mutual agreement. That dude was fired. Let's be clear.
Dang.
You're right. And I always wonder about that because, head coaches don't fall off trees, fellas. It's not easy what they do. So but maybe they got one over there falling off a tree.
I
thought Pete was doing a good job.
I thought
so too. I think we all. Seattle did way better than I think we all. I ain't gonna say way better, but last year they surpassed everybody's expectations, and this year, they straddled along in the division, but there was no easy out. So,
so can I
was quite shocked though.
Can I ask a question? I mean, my conspiracies. You think this is payback?
Rabbit hole.
You think this is payback for him getting rid of Russell? And Russell still got some people up in Seattle that didn't like that? Just asking.
Nah.
I'm just asking.
So. Nah. I think if anything, it might be payback for him busting up. Well, I don't know if it was him.
Defense.
But them going more offense than defense because the defense made the team.
But
when the organization do that,
I wouldn't think it would be him because he's a defensive coach.
Right.
That's why I didn't think that. I thought he would defense is this thing. That's what when he was a coordinator, that's what he did. He's a defensive coordinator. So that's why I never thought, I thought his problem would be with the offense. But
I know. Again, it will come out in a wash. Down the road, the 30 for 30 is coming. Believe that. We'll see. And that team definitely needs a 30 for 30 for real. And it's going to be coming.
I think also with the Seattle and bring your point back to what you said about Russell. I think there was some towards the end. There was some philosophical, differences, and we've seen it right here in New York this year with Wink Martindale and Brian Debo. Man, they literally
spicy.
And you got testosterone running around, and people are very passionate about what they feel, what they think might be for the good of the team, and sometimes one wins over the other. And I think this time the management for Mariners, for the Seahawks, they won out, and Pete Carroll, who I believe is 71, but doesn't look 71, and he looks great. They want to go on a different and younger version, because some of that too, going back to Belichick too might, got this old school mentality, and you got these nerds with the analytics and stuff like that, and me, you know how I feel about analytics. I got like Derek Jeter said. You got to have a feel. I mean, numbers is good to have, information is good to have, but it can't be every and anything. So I don't know. Philosophical differences. We'll see. Let me go on to the next one that surprised me. I think either E or Darryl was talking to Mike Vrabel, the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee had it going on a few years ago. Then they started getting on the cheat when they let go Brown, right? Didn't sign him.
Definitely.
Didn't sign him, and then it just looked like it just kept getting worse and worse and worse until this year when they finished 6-11. I believe they did. I'll give it to E because E stayed in the what's the area code there for a little bit.
615, baby,
Yeah,
615,
he stayed in
Asheville.
Asheville for a little bit. Your thoughts on
Yo,
Vrabel
man,
and what happened there, and why is there a coaching vacancy? I think Vrabel's going to go. I think he's going to go to New England.
I think that's a hand in glove fit myself.
Yeah.
DA was. Let me just say this real quick. DA was speaking on Belichick and his coaching tree. His coaching tree may not be his coordinators, it might be his players. His players seem like they was brighter than the damn coordinators, but we'll just keep an eye on that. Because by far, Vrabel is the best coach to come from under him, and he was a player. So I just thought I'd throw that out there. I think Tennessee. I don't understand this move myself. You have to make a decision. Everybody that watches football knows this. You have to make a decision on who your quarterback is going to be, what your outlook for the team is going to be. If you're going to keep on flip-flopping with this the two quarterback system never really worked in college, it's damn sure ain't going to work in the pros. So are you going to keep Tannehill? You're going to play him because he's the veteran and then groom your young guys? The first time Tannehill throws 2 picks in one game, they go to the next guy. He messes up. They flip-flop back to Tannehill. Come on, man. Y'all got to make a better decision than that. I don't know if that was all Vrabel or not, but I think that you're not going to find too many hard-nosed guys like a Vrabel. Mike Vrabel, them guys love them down there in Tennessee. So I don't know how – I think, like Kev said, to the other situation, I think there was some differences in how they was going to go. And you got GM versus coach. So what you gonna do? I don't like it, but I don't understand. Just like you said, Kev, you didn't want to pay AJ Brown. You ship him out of there, but then you bring in. And I love D Hop. Everybody on this panel knows that's my man. But at 30 years old, coming off of injuries, I'm not paying you. What did he get? 16 million, 15 million, something like that.
A bunch of money. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not paying you that. I could have gave that to AJ Brown. Make that make sense. You pay the guy 5 years more than yeah, man. I mean, I don't know, man. That one out of all of them, besides Pete Carroll, this one I scratched my head at. So
we got a question for the panel. VLAC, shout out to my main man VLAC. Shout out to Deb in the comments. Mom, thank you. My main man, Sancho Pans. They appreciate you. He calls me Lamar. Story about that, but shout out to him. VLAC wants to ask how many first round quarterbacks does a team need on the roster? And of course, Dan, the toxic one, who's not with us in the night, but he's in the comments. He says, Lackey, he says, hey, I don't know, ask Carolina.
You don't actually need any. You just need a good quarterback.
100%.
I think that the Tennessee thing is an ownership thing. I don't think that's a Vrabel thing because those decisions were made rash decisions, and Vrabel seemed to slow play everything, and try to let things develop. I think they got a little bit of success, and then things kind of got out of hand for Tennessee because Tannehill was never going to be a great quarterback. He was always a stopgap quarterback. Remember, he came into college as a wide receiver. He didn't come into college as a quarterback. So he wasn't a quarterback.
I thought he would have been good enough just to either get them to the conference championship and maybe to a Super Bowl.
The reality is that he probably was if the rest of the league just stayed where they were, right? Everybody else is trying to get better too. So
yeah.
Everybody else is practicing, and injuries come, and we got to look at the climate of the AFC, right? So people thought Joe Burrow was going to be good, but they didn't think he's going to be that good because that's their stumbler with Cincinnati. Like they still be right if Cincinnati was not good. There are 2 years that the Titans still would have probably been closer, right? Because Cincinnati or Kansas City, one of those four, Cincinnati, Kansas City, Buffalo, and the Titans, one of those teams are going to knock each other off. So we're talking about post Brady, right? So one of those 4 teams, they're going to play each other and it's out. So Tennessee always had an easy chance to get there, but oh shoot, what the heck? Cincinnati? Then you lose to Cincinnati. And then they started losing players because winning and being a championship team in the NFL is really hard because you still have to balance those books. So then they started losing offensive linemen, defensive linemen. They're losing Derrick Henry this year. They lost AJ Brown, so they lost a tight end or two. So all those things happen. And yeah, it's hard to keep a team that's that good when other teams are also getting good. So,
Gotcha.
Sounds like a 10-year rebuild to me. That's what it sounds like to me.
a bad quarterback. Well, I'm not even saying he was a bad quarterback. It was just not.
Nah, I don't think Tannehill's the bad. I think he falls into the
he's the game manager.
Yeah. Game
Nothing wrong with
manager. That word that somehow has become
some kind of
negative,
a negative word, and it shouldn't be, because it actually is something good that you are a competent quarterback that could come in and take your team and not hurt your team. You understand what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I don't know what Tennessee is doing, really, to be honest with you. So, I thought if anything, you let go of a bad coach. That's just I don't know. I just thought it was a bad move, but we'll see. Like I said, the off season will be interesting. I think probably more interesting than the regular season, because with all the moves and shaking, and everybody wants to be right. Everybody wants to get this quarterback right. Everybody thinks that these quarterbacks that come out, we don't know what they're going to be. We have no idea. We have.
But Mel Kiper Jr., you should listen.
Whoa.
Man, stop.
We're gonna stop that. They
Don't
put
do
his
that.
stupid ass
Not on
on
this
last
show.
night.
No, sir.
They put him on last night, like eight months too early. Saying absolutely nothing.
Wait.
He's on that.
Oh, I was about to say, what did he say?
Nothing. He's nothing.
Okay.
He was non-committal on anything, and I'm like, dog, what are you doing? We don't even need you. What are you gonna do with Justin Fields? Well, Justin can play, but they can't play. Which one is it, man?
Yeah.
You ain't got no, because you don't know.
I say Chicago leaves Justin Fields alone.
I would too, but that's not.
I would too, but
leave him there and leave him alone and build around him. The young fella could play. I don't understand what are they doing, but then again,
find yourself some coaches. You get Marvin Harrison's, his son, get another offensive lineman, and you build a team the way people build teams.
There you go. But the thing is, DA, we have become society. We just lazy, bro.
So microwave.
We don't want. Yeah, microwave, pop it in 3 minutes, and we out the door. And nobody does it the way of take time. The fans is impatient, ADHD, along with everything else. You know what I'm saying? We don't give these guys a chance to grow. So this is if you get in this business, you better understand what you're getting into. That's what I say. Ain't this is it is what it is. I don't want to hear nobody crying. This is the business. You should have studied the business before you jumped in. This is what it is.
Yep.
That's a fact.
That's a fact. Let's go on to the Super Wild Card Weekend predictions here. Let me start off with the first game: Eagles against Tampa Bay. DA got the Eagles. D-Dub, who you got?
Yeah, Eagles is free falling. I'm going to go off it and just say, I'm going to go for the shock. I think I had a couple of shocks. Yeah, Tampa Bay. I'm taking Tampa Bay at home.
I'm taking Tampa Bay at home. I'm taking them to win by 10. The Eagles are still a mess.
If the Eagles pull off a New York Giants coming into the playoffs, looking like this, I don't even think the Giants look this bad when they entered the playoffs.
They lost 5 out of 6 to the Eagles.
Yeah, this is not what you want coming into the playoffs, and they might turn it around, but maybe not against this team. They might make it against Tampa Bay, but I'm gonna give Tampa Bay a shot. I don't know how what's my man Baker, man? Is Baker's 100%? He probably not, but
good season, man. Baker's played good.
Yeah, Baker had listen, don't shit on Baker. Baker had a good season. He did a good job with Tampa Bay this year. So hopefully the rib. I think he had a rib injury. So hopefully that's not ailing him when he's playing. I believe on Sunday night, Sunday or Saturday.
It won't matter because the Eagles can't get no pass rush anyway, so he won't be touched. But I still have Philadelphia winning this game.
Okay.
I will say, as good as Baker is, yes, he's banged up. Have you seen Tampa Bay the last 2 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm taking Philly. I'm
right.
taking Philly only because they're the NFC champs, and I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. But if they make it to the next round, you won't see me picking them. Sorry.
Yo, E, you know what happens when you give a person the benefit of the doubt, right?
Well, I know. They get out of jail and commit more crime. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Listen, I'm like D-Dub. I'm taking Tampa for the shock value. I think Tampa will win this game. Let me move on to the next game. I think the game of the weekend is going to be LA, the Rams versus the Lions. The whole I'm coming home and all this stuff, but I'm going to start it off. I think the Lions win this game. I think the Lions win this game by 10. Their first home game, their first home playoff game in about 30 years. I think Jared Goff and Brown and company will get it done. The Rams have played really well in the second half. This game will be close, but I think the Lions will win by 10. D-Dub, go ahead.
Yo, I picked the Rams. I said the Rams is sizzling coming into the playoffs. So, but I do like Detroit. So I'm looking for an entertaining game. I think this is probably, you're probably right about this. Probably about the best, might be the best game.
Yeah.
Of the weekend. But I'm looking for an entertaining game. But I am going with the Rams.
Gotcha. DA, your thoughts? Rams, Lions.
Okay.
Kansas.
I mean, the Rams won a lot of games end of the year where teams weren't playing everyone. Dudes weren't going hard the whole game. Dudes had things kind of wrapped up and we're doing okay. I think the Lions will be able to run on them, and I think they'll get pressure on Stafford. But Rams are a good team. So they won the Super Bowl 2 years ago. They lost a few guys, but it just does not seem like the energy is there. But it should be a good game. I'm going with the Lions.
Gotcha. Everyone, what you got, bro?
I'm going Detroit, but I'm like everybody else. I think this is probably must-see TV. If I had to pick one game to watch, this would be the one game that I would tune in for. I think because of that debacle in Dallas, I think that's going to be good bulletin board material for the coach, knowing how he is going forward. And I think they're going to be hyped for this game. It's going to be a good game, but I think the Lions will be dominant in certain factors of the game. So Detroit.
Gotcha. Appreciate that, angry one. We'll move right along. Green Bay visits Jerry's World and face the Cowboys. I'm going to start off. I'm going to say Justin Love plays a very well game, but I think Dak plays a better game. Green Bay, they're learning and stuff like that, and I thought it was shocking that they got in the playoffs, but they made a run. They played better in the second half also, but I think Dak and company and their wide receiver has been playing out of his mind. What's his name?
CeeDee
Lamb has been catching every and anything, man. And Mike McCarthy, just run the ball, bro, when you're supposed to, bro. That's all I ask if you're going to beat Green Bay. That's all. I think Dallas should win this game. I think Dallas will win this game by 9. I'll give it to E. Thoughts, Dallas, Green Bay.
Where's this game at?
Dallas.
Daryl, say again, what do you call the Dallas Cowboys?
They are the work from home team.
From home team, America's team. They will win this game. Green Bay is one of those up and coming teams. Not their time yet. It won't be their time in Dallas. I got them winning by 2 touchdowns at least.
Gotcha. D-Dub, what you got?
Yeah, I agree with E, man. I think this is a 2-touchdown ball game for the Cowboys. The Cowboys are 8-0 at home, 12-5 record overall. Yeah, they work, like I said, man. I've been saying it they work well at home. So they needed a home game because after this is where the train runs off the track after this. So I'm taking the Cowboys in this one. Green Bay had a good year, though.
They had a good year, no doubt. Yeah. DA, who you got, bro?
Yeah, it's short and sweet. Dallas has to win, so that's where that ends at.
Gotcha. Thank you, DA.
But can I just say one thing?
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
If they lose, please tune in to Fourth and Short right after on Monday.
On Monday night, bro.
We're gonna have
7:30. Yeah.
At 7:30 sharp.
Yeah, be there.
And it might be something before on that game on game day. That game after the game. Yeah. If that happens.
Look out on our social media. Our social media has been very lit.
Yeah.
Shout out to those that have been engaging with our social media and stuff like that. Keep liking and clicking, sharing and all that good stuff. Appreciate y'all. Let me go on to the next game. The AFC. We got the Browns visiting the AFC South. Houston Texans. Browns this is a hard game here. I think Browns defense is serious. Texans quarterback, he's been playing good. I'm taking CJ Stroud in the Texans. I got that. DA, who you got, bro?
I guess I'll
tough game.
I'll take the Browns.
Yeah. You taking the Browns? Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Hey, make sure all the sports chasers and the sound of my voice, make sure you go to CBS, who also heads our website if you go to our website, there our ticker and trailer. Make sure you guys fill out the playoff. What did we do? The playoff picks for this year, because we had a 2-way tie between myself and D Dubs. Dan was bringing up the rear, so this is going to decide all the chips. So make sure you guys fill out your picks this week and don't miss it. So, gotcha. D Dub, who you got in this game?
Yeah, this is a hard game.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be an interesting game, but I'm going with the Browns too. I'm taking the Browns. I'm fascinated with Joe Flacco coming off the bench and getting in the game and being able to help the Browns team and win. And winning and flinging that ball around. I mean, Amari Cooper looks fantastic.
Yep.
So, and he's back. So I think he had a small injury or heel injury, something like that. But he's back.
Damn, wow.
Dan, I gave you props. I said, Dan, I said you.
No, you said bringing up the rear like he was in last place. I feel you, Dan.
Okay, it's myself and D Dubs. Let me clarify. We tied for first. Dan tied for second. Okay.
Dan doing all this crying.
And Dan's doing all this crying, whining, boohooing, crying. And then the other guys, DA, the angry one, and Mike Mills. I
got you.
They brought up the rear. Okay, I don't know what they finished. Okay, but
I'll stump.
I'll bring the picks up here in a little bit. But
wait till next year.
Wait till next year when we're all focused, right? E, what you got in this game? Who you got in this game?
So I got Houston. I feel the same way of Houston as I said about Green Bay. The only difference is Houston is playing at home. I too was very shocked to see this new juice that's flowing through the Cleveland Browns and Mr. Joe Flacco. That juice is going to run out. I think this is going to be a great game. But I think the energy will help Houston win this game. I got Houston in this one. And y'all talk about Amari Cooper, and rightfully so. But I have to go ahead and give props to Mr. Nico Collins.
Nico.
He has been balling.
Yeah, Nico balled out the other night. Yeah, he did. I give you that.
Yeah, he definitely did, man. So D-Dub, I got you on this one, right? I got you on that. Let's move truck right on along. I know a lot of people down here in South Florida are gonna hate me for this one, but I'm speaking only fact.
But before you
go ahead.
Before you start, yo, NFL, man. Y'all better stop this nonsense with this Peacock shit.
Yeah, I'm glad you touched on that. Yeah.
Yo, come on now. Why can't we just put it on regular NBC? Why do you got to have people trying to flick and scroll, try to find Peacock? Ain't nobody got Peacock. Maybe a few people when it was free.
Trying to get that money out of you.
I mean, you gonna squeeze? I mean, you already got the game in the chokehold. What are we doing?
Okay,
that's all I had to say.
Can we just, for all you New Yorkers, can we just put it back on 2, 4, 5, and 7?
Yeah. Nah, kid, they gotta squeeze every drop out of you, man, just to get some couple dollars.
Me and D-Dub was on another chat with a bunch of friends that's football, and one of them was saying, man, he said, man, I think I got one more week out of Peacock. He saw,
yeah. I got one more. I got a month. I already canceled. And I think I got we got it for the rest of the month. But come on, dog. They did this the other night when the game was solely on Peacock, man. Come on.
Oh, but everybody should have the app.
No, everybody shouldn't have the app, and
App
you
for
should
what?
just
I
leave
don't.
it.
I don't have everything
Yeah.
on my phone like most of y'all
Yeah,
earthlings do.
and you should just leave it for CBS, Fox, NBC, ESPN. Those are
That's
the.
Nope.
It's been like, you know what I'm saying. So why are we doing this? And I mean, come on, man. Oh, Amazon. Well, you got Amazon. I heard this. Well, it was on Amazon. Yo, listen. Just about everybody in America has Amazon.
facts.
Amazon has become like your microwave in your house. Stop playing.
Al Michaels hated the Thursday night games.
Yeah.
Al Michaels
You feel me?
hated the Thursday night games. He was pretty
Yeah.
much short of saying these games suck.
And they do.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry they gave him all the trash games, man. I mean, Thursday night we shouldn't be playing. That's a whole nother story. We shouldn't even be playing these Thursday night games anyway. But that's another story, another day. But go ahead, Kev.
Let me
Miami, Kansas
Miami,
City.
Kansas City. I'm gonna keep it short for all my folks in South Florida. Y'all gonna lose. Kansas City will win this game
That's a fact.
27-10. It's supposed to be like 4 degrees there. I'm not saying that everybody that plays on the Dolphins is from South Florida, but needs to say the Dolphins had their fate in their own hands last week, and they did not do a good job by losing to Buffalo. They got a lot of people that's hurt, but as we stated on Fourth and Short on Monday, everybody's hurt at this time. Kansas City is a better team. Dolphins don't beat nobody above 500, and this will continue on Saturday. Yeah, Saturday at 4:30. This game is Kansas City 27, Dolphins 10. I'll give it to the DA. DA, thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I'll go with you, Kev. Injuries. I don't think Miami has going to finish yet, but it's coming. Don't get me wrong, it is coming, and they do have a chance. But I will go with Kansas City because of they're a lot healthier and they have the better quarterback.
Yeah, gotcha. E, what you got?
Kansas City, man. I mean, it's the same thing you said. Miami has yet to prove that they can beat anybody worthwhile. And man, when you got two teams that's dragging into a game, man, I'm gonna go with the guy that's done it before. I'm sorry, it's just that simple.
Yep,
Going with Kansas City.
gotcha. Let's go ahead. D-Dub, what you got?
Yeah, I listen. I'm going. It's a clean sweep. I think. Kansas City. You know, I don't like Kansas City. I would prefer Miami win, but this is not the game they're going to win. This is not what they want. They don't have enough.
No.
Yeah.
Kansas City.
I totally agree. Let me move on to the last game of Super Wild Card Weekend. Is it the last game? Yeah, it's the last game of Wild Card. Buffalo and Pittsburgh. That game's up in Western New York at Orchard Park, or not whatever they call it, the stadium now. Mile Hark Stadium, Highmark Field, whatever.
Yeah,
They
whatever.
they play, and Steelers, they getting in, they fixed their quarterback problem a little bit. The Bills are playing. D-Dub said no, don't do it.
Don't even do it, Kev. We already know.
Dan says Pitt.
I'm going with Dan.
I'm going with Dan too. I'm sorry, Kev. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hijack.
You know what, Dan? I'm rocking with you. I'm looking for an upset. I think the Steelers can get this done this week. D-Dub?
Yeah, I'm not going with y'all. I'm going right. I'm going right with Buffalo. Buffalo should win this game. I got you.
Why? Why? Tell us why.
Hold on. If Pittsburgh comes in with the mindset of that they could beat Buffalo, and they can very well upset Buffalo, but homeboy got to stop turning over the ball. That's one. All right, he got to stop turning the ball. They got to run the ball.
He's not going,
and they'll be successful. But if they don't run the ball, like we tell Dallas, you're not going to be successful in this game, and then you're going to mess around and let Pittsburgh come up with a plan and beat Buffalo. But I think Buffalo should win this game.
the biggest thing Buffalo has on the side is that TJ Watt is not playing.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest thing they have on their side is that TJ is not playing.
Yeah, that's definitely
Yeah, I'm sure. I think Pittsburgh runs it down.
And run the ball down the middle.
Yeah. So there you go. Thank you, Kev. You
know what? Y'all started.
But anyway. But anyway, yeah.
You about to say something wild.
Yeah, it was about to be crazy. But I think Josh Allen is going to try to do Josh Allen things, and you're not Patrick Mahomes, dog. You're just not. I don't know why this team. I don't believe in them in the playoffs. So yeah, I'm going Pittsburgh. Man. That's just that simple.
And I would say, I mean, he got away with it, man. Like against Miami, he got away with throwing the ball to the wrong team
3 times.
That defense kept him in the game. So even if he throws the ball away to the other team, they still can win the game.
Yeah,
that was Miami, though, bro.
Yeah, that was Miami. What you said, D.A.?
I mean, I'm not saying that Pittsburgh is way better than Miami. However,
right, I got
they're better coach and their play's been there. So they I don't know.
I don't think that he can afford to make any mistakes either way. So either team, it's playoff time. So tighten it up. Cross your teeth.
Oh, definitely.
That's all. I just don't know if they're committed enough to stop. Excuse me. Pittsburgh's running attack. That's what I'm not sure. So we'll see.
Did Buffalo lose the first round last year? Or did they make it?
No, they lost.
I can't remember.
They lost to Cincinnati in snow.
Yeah, I remember the snow. That was second round? That was the second or the
They lost to Cincinnati in the snow. I don't think they beat anybody before they got there.
Okay.
All I know is after this week, they'll still be on the fraud report for me. So
yeah.
Gotcha. Should be a good football. Wives and stuff you don't know, girlfriends and stuff, or whoever. Hey, it's wild card weekend. It's football all weekend. So
yeah, not this weekend.
Yeah.
Not this weekend.
No Home Depot. No Home Depot runs.
Home Depot,
Make sure you go to Publix. Make sure you go to Key Food beforehand on Friday night.
Key Food? What are you in the Bronx?
Yeah, bro. C-Town.
Yeah.
C-Town Mets.
Yeah. AMP, baby.
AMP.
Pathmark.
Wherever's your local grocery.
Bodega with the sawdust on the floor, Kate. Yo.
With the cat on the top shelf next to the bread. What y'all know about that?
Hey, that
cat be in the same spot.
That cat had a purpose, man.
Yeah.
The cat is a watchdog.
And you asking for Lucy's and stuff like that. How much is a Lucy now, man? What is it? Because cigarettes got to be like $50 in New York.
$8.
Poppy. Every time you come in here, you ask for a Lucy. Poppy.
Yeah.
$10 a cigarette now. So.
Oh my goodness, man! What an expensive habit. I'm glad I don't have that habit. Thank God, man. Don't smoke. Yeah. Hey, on this show,
you'll be broke if you do.
Don't smoke. You'll be broke, and don't fry chicken in your house, right, D-Dub? We had that a couple weeks ago. So we're gonna have the Sports Chasers 10 Commandments. So don't smoke.
Chicken.
Don't fry chicken in your house. So that's 2.
Chicken and Newport 100s. Newport 100s. A no-go. It's a no-go.
Leave them alone.
Don't fry chicken in your house. Don't fry it. Go to KFC. Get it. Or bake. Broil your chicken. Broil your chicken, man.
Air fryer, man. Get that air fryer, though.
Let me move on. We got a few more minutes in the show, man. We had a Martha Stewart moment. NHL. According to Dan K, he gave me his notes. Don't drink. Shout out to Mike Bristol. NHL. If Junior will pull up this hockey notes here, he gave me his power rankings. But let me just go over his notes real quick. No, I'll do the power rankings here, and this is according to the NHL. I'll just run them down real quick here. The Jets, Winnipeg Jets, not the New York Jets, are 27-9-4 as of last night. They was number 4 last week. They're playing really good hockey. You got the Vancouver Canucks that beat my Rangers the other night, smacked them. They are 27-11-3. They are number 2. The Boston Bruins, the regular season champs, but they couldn't get it done. They're number 3. The New York Rangers, my New York Rangers are number 4, 26-11-2. The Colorado Avalanche are 27-12-3. They're number 5. The Florida Panthers, 26-12-2. Dallas Stars, 24-11-5. Dan's beloved Toronto Maple Leafs. I say that tongue in cheek because Dan hates the Maple Leafs. They're number 8. VLAX Carolina Hurricanes, they're 22-13. They're number 9. The former Stanley Cup champs, the Vegas Golden Knights, they are 23-13-5. Number 11 is the Edmonton Oilers, 21-15. 12 is the LA Kings, 20-10-7. Seattle Kraken, they're 17-14-9. And surprising play this year from the Philadelphia Flyers, they are 21-14-6. New Jersey Devils are 21-15-2. And the New York Islanders, they bring up, I'm just only quoting the first 16. They are 18-12 as the power rankings according to NHL, not to Dan, because Dan has his own power rankings, and Dan didn't lead with me his power rankings. But let me go over his notes. He left me some notes. Shout out to our hockey dude, who's the best in the business. I'll put him up against any person that knows anything about hockey or the National Hockey League. So let me give you his notes according to Dan. He's not with us this week, but Dan will be back with us next week. Connor Bedard out 6 to 8 weeks after surgery for his fractured jaw, which he sustained last Friday night from a hit by Brendan Smith of New Jersey. I'm sure. No, I wasn't supposed to read that. You can't read everything on the teleprompter, but here we go. Roll the clip, JR.
Poor young fella.
Here's a hit on Connor Bedard.
Ooh, boy, took him off his feet.
This is right here. Damn.
Yep, and you see as he clinches.
He be all right.
That sounds
Catch get hit every day.
That sound like Cam and Ace.
Yo, you tough.
You tough, right?
So those that in the sound of my voice on the podcasting side, if you just go to Connor Bedard hit from Brendan Smith of New Jersey Devils, we can't play the sound because we've been getting a couple of YouTube strikes. So we have gotten smart and we are not playing the sound. So we don't want to get flagged here. So if you want to go look in context and look at the actual hit. Thank you, JR. Appreciate that. Flyers trade they prospect as we go on with the notes. Flyers trade they prospect Cutter Gauthier to the Ducks for Jaime Drysdale and a second-round pick in 2025. Dan asked, why did the Flyers move on from one of their top prospects, and why did they choose to do so right now? It was a long time coming. Flyers general manager Danny Briere said during the first intermission on Monday night's game, it's been going on for a while. We tried to give him space. We tried to get in touch with him many times. They would not communicate. At some point, we had to make a decision. We thought with what happened just a few days ago, this was our time probably to get the highest value. At the draft, he said he wanted to be a Flyer. He changed his mind and wouldn't talk to them, so they moved on. So I never knew of this story, and it looks like he wanted to be a Flyer, and Dan will probably come back next week and give it more more context to the story, man. But I don't know. Looks like the young man was troubled or whatever. He was going through something, and he wasn't answering their calls. That's not good to not answer your employer's call. And go ahead.
I wonder if he unfollowed them on.
Well, that's usually the MO that the as DA says the kids use now. The first thought you want to think they're not engaging, they unfollow your team. If they do that, it's a wrap.
Well, you're in trouble then.
Yeah, it's definitely a wrap, man. So the young man was traded. Flyers got a draft pick for him, and we'll see. The Flyers been playing very good this year. Surprisingly so. Like I said, they took. Yeah. Oh, I thought you was talking to me.
No, I just said they have.
Yeah. So definitely so, man. So that's all I got for the NHL and all things hockey. Shout out to, again, the hockey dude for coming through. And like I said, these are his notes, not my notes. And that was not his power rankings. That was the power rankings according to the National Hockey League. Dan has his own formula of how he does things, and rightfully so, because he's a hockey dude. And he's our main man. So shout out to the hockey dude, man. Let us move on to the National Basketball Association. Where's VLAC? VLAC, are you watching?
No, he probably turned this off now because
We're a week ahead of schedule, right?
yeah.
Shout out to our NBA insider and contributor, Ryan D'Souza. Ryan always brings things about when he comes about talking about NBA. But I'm gonna do a little NBA news for you. I'll start off, and this is probably going to make you roll your eyes. But they say that Draymond looks like he can come back, and he's good. D-Dub.
He's good.
I'm just saying that's what the commissioner said.
Hey, yo, man.
What does that
commissioner
mean?
say he's good? I don't know what that means exactly, D. I don't know what that means. He's good. I don't know what that means that this guy was crying, talking about he's going to retire. Yo, man, dog, I don't care. I really don't even care no more at this point. The guy, for me, if I was the commissioner, he'd been gone for the whole year, and we wouldn't be talking about Draymond Green. You know what I'm saying? Golden State is right now. I said it. They wash. They you know.
Oh, that if you don't know, if you go on TikTok and Instagram, that clip got a lot of traction. Some people were absolutely in their feelings about washed. Yeah.
Yeah, watch. If you watching, and I don't even care if you could be watching part-time. You could tell that this he's not the same. Golden State is not the same. I believe
currently they are 17
night.
and 20.
20. Yeah.
12th in the West.
Night. I believe they lost to the Pelicans last night. So, you know, I mean, it is what it is, dog. I mean, they got a few players, but it's not the same. When you made a move to go get Chris Paul, that didn't even make any sense.
And he's
hurt.
Oh, are you surprised? I'm not
at all.
Yeah, right.
I thought he was hurt. I thought he caught a cramp signing the damn contract when he got traded.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You know, the hottest team right now. I mean, we looking at, you know, Minnesota's a hot team. Boston definitely a hot team.
My Knicks.
The Knicks is hot. 5. They won 5 in a row. They play Dallas tonight. So, you know, it's good, man. It's good that these young teams are coming up and they playing and they balling out.
LeBron.
What about
bro?
him?
What about him? He's in 9th place.
Yeah.
Okay. He's fighting for the team is at 500, 19 and 19.
Fighting for my playoff life.
They're about to fire another coach. So
yeah, this Darvin Ham talk just a week ago, he was the best thing. Now, it's Darvin Ham. Everything else is AD's playing. He's finally playing like he's supposed to be playing.
This is,
and then now we talk about it's got to be the coach now. You guys, man,
y'all make me sick. This is the same formula. We talked about formulas. What Dan uses for the power rankings. Well, there's a formula with the Lakers, and this happens. And I'm going to say it. David Blatt. They tried it in Miami, but Pat Riley said nope. And
you know what the formula is? Oh, he needs more help.
No. We gotta say that for when we do our show. He
needs more help.
We'll say that. Say that. Let me get to these power rankings real quick. According to the 4-letter network that I refuse to say, ESPN. I said it. Fine. I will give it $10 right now. I'll bring the thing up. The 4-letter network, according to them, Boston Celtics are 1, Denver Nuggets are 2. Minnesota Timberwolves, my main man, Ant-Man, him and his team, they're number 3. The Oklahoma City Thunder, my other main man, they're number 4. SGA, they're number 4. The Milwaukee Bucks are 5. The Clippers are 6. I meant to mention last week that the Clippers have been playing very well ball. Looks like
shout out to them.
I destroyed them early when I said this team is going to not do anything,
and rightfully so. They was playing like hot garbage, but then they was coming together, so kudos to them, and they've been playing very, very well.
James Harden, he almost averaging 10 assists almost every night.
Yeah,
so
he
found his groove with that team.
We do give him credit. We might tear him down, and then we'll give him credit when it's
absolutely, man. Yeah,
it is what it is. But
definitely, man. The 76ers, they're number 7. The Dallas Mavericks, number 8. Sacramento Kings, they're number 9. Miami Heat, number 10. The Pelicans, number 11, they've been playing well. The Knicks, number 12. The Indiana Pacers, number 13. The Orlando Magic, number 14. Magic have been playing well this year. Shout out to them. They got a very good young team with Wagner and Bonchero, man. Wagner. They got a very good team. The Cavaliers are number 15. The Phoenix Suns, they're a disappointing number 16, but I'll wait.
That's another one. 19 and 18.
I expected that, to be honest.
19 and 18.
That roster can't stay healthy to say they right.
You got one guy who refuses to stay healthy, and I mean, not that it's his fault, but it's just that you're just not available. So, you know, they traded away everything for what their current roster is now. So that's why they have such a problem. They have nothing on that bench.
No bench. And I'm stopping at 16 because that's it.
Please.
Thank you.
I'm stopping at 16. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Let's give Kevin's flowers for that.
Hey, DA, I told you, man, this is a give flowers culture now. This is, we got to give guys their flowers.
I just gave Kev his for stopping early.
You got to give them flowers, bro. You don't give them flowers, they crying, boo-hoo, and whining.
We only got a few minutes, and we might have to go back to this. We only got 5 more minutes, but we wanted to start a new segment. Me and DA, we wanted to start this thing called the business side of sports. We'll call it here. And DA alluded to it earlier about how the Pac-12 will take $50 million to rebuild and why. So we'll just dive into this for 5 minutes, and we might have to go back to it. So during this segment, we just want to clearly look at the business side of sports and how it impacts you, the fan. If you notice, let me just get this. I might have to go over just 1 minute, JR. If you notice, like I said, 2024, we're doing some things, and these guys are going to laugh. What does our new moniker says? It says the Real Sports Fans HQ, which means you, the fan, you want things all sports, you come here, check us out. We have surrendered the name, I guess surrender is the word, the other moniker we had, the Defender of the Fans. And I don't know if one of these guys want to take it. You got 30 seconds, and I need you to be
Just ain't defending y'all no more. It's just that simple. Can't defend all of y'all.
Yeah.
That's it. 30. Yeah. That wasn't even 30 seconds. Take it away, Carol. Ain't nothing else to say. You can't defend all of y'all. All of y'all.
Because you try to tell you, man, y'all keep on coming back. So, it is what it is,
Let me read this from the Sports Business Journal, and then we're going to close out here. If rebuilding Pac-12 with MWC schools, there you go, DA, could cost over $50 million due to exit fees. If Oregon State and Washington State are to rebuild the Pac-12 using Mountain West schools before August 2nd, 2027, it could cost more than $50 million in fees, as the Pac-12 may have to pay the Mountain West Conference a withdrawal fee for every NWC school accepting an invitation to leave, according to Nick Daschel of the Portland Oregonian. The fee kicks in if the Pac-12 makes an invitation to join the conference and the school accepts before the 2-year anniversary of the contract's initial terms expirations date of August 1st, 2025. The withdrawal fee begins at $10 million for the first school and rises by $500 for each school beyond that. Wow. In addition, a school leaving the Mountain West must pay a termination fee of $5.5 million. The withdrawal and termination fees are waived if the entire 12-school Mountain West is accepted into the new Pac-12. This sounds like a credit card, like a bad credit card.
That sound like your mobile service. Sound like T-Mobile and all of that. You want to go to? Yeah, let me not say these names either. But yeah, you want to go to over there to Plan B? Nah, you gotta pay us to disconnect to go over there. And no, you can't keep your number. Fuck out of here.
That's exactly what this sounds like. You can't port your number over none of that stuff. Nope. If you want to do that, you're gonna have to pay an arm, a leg, a head, and all that stuff. DA,
I have so many questions, Lord.
DA, and we don't have so much but little time.
Yeah, I ain't got nothing for you.
I ain't gonna get started tonight.
Yeah, go ahead, DA. Take it away.
Yes.
Listen, folks. This is folly. It's foolish. You think about this, right? So, if the Mountain West teams were that good and could recruit to play on the level of the other conferences, they'd be there now. Why am I tearing down the building to spend $50 million to re-put up the same building but not as good? It doesn't make sense. You can't make it make sense. So you're going to bring in Wyoming, this school. What are they going to do but go get their butts kicked like the other schools? Now, for the people that are alumni of those institutions, they would love the heck out of the fact that their school gets to get beat by Michigan by 80,000 points.
Damn,
But it doesn't do anything for the school. You get a little extra money because now you got another set of schools, and it's going to be done. I'm pretty sure they're going to do it based on population. Right. So the big West schools or whatever, those cities, it'll be based on population and getting eyes on television sets and more advertising dollars and more people paying, the direct TV or whatever cable bill is that's going to pay for the advertising for this conference. Because that $50 million is not coming out of any individual's pockets. It's coming out of our pockets. The folks that have to buy the cable because they split it up amongst all of us. So I'm just asking myself and asking the rest of America, who's willing to pay for Wyoming? I wasn't willing to pay for USC, so I know I ain't paying for Wyoming. If you ain't playing defense, I'm not watching you. So that's just me. But
well, hell, that was the Pac-12 to begin with.
It's always been that. That's why I've never really been a huge fan. But the reality is, they'll see. Because they'll go to the Big 12 and Big 10 or whatever they are, and then USC and UCLA will be third or fourth ranked teams every year in their conference. Because you have to stop somebody at some point in time. You have to. Because if you let Michigan run the ball, like you see, if you let Michigan run it at you for an entire game, they will do it. They'll have 200-something yards in the first half. Monday's game was not played in a vacuum; it was played in front of the world.
So I'm gonna just ask a question real quick, if I may.
Go ahead.
Are those the only two teams that's left in the Pac-10, Pac-12, Pac-8, whatever they are?
Yes.
No. Oh, no. You're Oregon. Yeah, Oregon is that's oranges. Yeah.
Yeah, they're gone. Yep. So
wouldn't it? Lord have mercy.
Well, no, go ahead. Makes sense. I know. The business side of sports.
Yeah, this is why again. This is why I don't with college football like that, man.
Well, remember the conference name is the draw, right? So that's why you can say, well, why don't you just stay where you're at? Because the Pac-10 is a big name.
Yeah, franchise-wise, yes. It's a draw.
It's a huge franchise. So that's why you want to keep the name because it's a huge franchise, man.
Well, we'll see in 5 years if they got to rely on Wyoming versus Oregon State.
It's a lot more because now you got to change recruiting, right? And unfortunately, folks, and I'm not going to talk anymore after this. These kids are not a unending resource. There are only a certain amount of 6'8", 300-something pound kids that can run, jump, and play football. Like you just can't say we're going to open a conference and they're going to be kids,
right?
Because they're not. It's not like there's not that many kids that can do it at that level. That's all I'm saying. Not at the level that people want to pay TV for. Like there are a lot of big kids. We watch basketball and there's a lot of conferences. There's a lot of big 7-foot kids, but there's not a lot of 7-foot kids that can actually play. So it's just not that easy. That's all.
100%. D-Dub, you say you didn't have nothing for it?
Nah, too much, man.
We like to educate and we know we have some fans that like to know some of the kind of like the outside the lines things, some kind of like the sports reporters thing. So me and DA, we are going to be the go-to guys with the sports side of business side of sports segment because some of the things are very interesting, man. Like how we talked one time about how Buffalo spent a gang of money, $1 billion on an open air stadium that they're only going to use 8 times during the year. That doesn't make sense to any of the New York State residents. I'm glad I'm not a New York State resident anymore, and shame on them. And New York State has enough problems, but this is not a political show. So with that said, I'm gonna go to Parting Shots. Great show, fellas. I'll start my Parting Shots with The angry one. What you got for us, bro? Good show.
Yo, man, great show, fellas.
Yes, sir.
As always, always good to be here on Thursday night. I know I've been MIA, but I'm back, and yeah, man, we got great things coming on. But anyway, yo, man, shout out to all those that wasn't here tonight. Miss you guys, man. Shout out to everybody in viewership land, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you getting your the Sports Chasers views and whatnot. Please like, click, and subscribe. All that good stuff. Share with your folks. Let them know that we are the best damn show out there. And I ain't got nothing heavy, man. Y'all be good. Y'all be easy out there, man.
Appreciate you, E. DA grabbed his Walgreens bag, so you know what time it is.
Hey, you know what it is. Hey guys, the reality is, everyone, thanks for coming. There's a lot going on. Like, really try to keep an eye on it, because there's a lot of things that you can learn, not just from sports, but kind of like life. You'll get out of this, because it's some weird stuff happening, guys. Weird stuff happening. So everyone, just keep abreast of what's going on with sports, how they're trying to pull the money out your pockets, and vote with your dollars, man. Because you don't have to watch it. You don't. If it's not good for you, don't do it. All right. Thank you, guys.
And with that said, Juan Soto signed a record-breaking salary with the Yankees for $350 million for the 2024 season. Just came across the wire.
Wow.
So you got him and
Judge.
Stanton. Judge.
Yeah.
They've been trying to get rid of Stanton.
And none of them could get 3 outs.
Yeah. DA, they ain't gonna never get rid of Stanton. Stanton is gonna be there.
Yeah.
He's gonna be there till 2034.
Till that contract runs out. There ain't nobody going.
Jeter did a good one on that one for the Marlins for them. Yeah, he got us on that one, man.
They didn't talk to me. I always say, oh no. I don't care how much home runs he hit. I holding on to a guy for 10 years and then he doesn't even produce it. He don't even produce nothing. That's another show, man. Yo, I ain't got nothing heavy, man. Everything's good. Yo, appreciate everybody watching. Come join us every Thursday night. We'll be here for what's that? 4th and Short on Monday.
Yep.
We'll be back, and appreciate y'all chiming in the comments and everything. Yo, good show. So see y'all next week.
Got you. Great show as always. Thank you, D-Dub. Great show as always. Thank you for all those that are watching on the YouTube side, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, X. We got people on X watching. Thank you guys so much. Those that are listening on the sound of my voice on the podcasting side, appreciate you on whatever podcasting platform you're on. That's whether it's Spotify, Apple, Google, whatever you is to listen to. Thank you. Make sure you click the response, give it that 5-star review, and also hit us with the comments. As D-Dubs always say, like, hate us, whatever. Just give us what you like about us as we grow the show. As you see, we're doing some new things. We got a new moniker. That's right. We're the fans, the sports fans headquarters for all things sports, because we talk all sports. Some say they talk all sports, but I'm not going to get into it. But I know we do, and that's a fact. And if we don't have the 5 of us, the 6 of us that talk it, we go get somebody that does know what they're talking about.
We'll find somebody.
We'll find somebody, because that's what we do, because we talk all sports, man. You know what I'm saying? Just not football, NBA, LeBron, Dallas Cowboys.
Clutch Sports.
Oops. He said it, not me. On behalf of myself, hey, shout out to the super producer, man, JR, and making it do what it do behind the scenes. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much. We're going to get on out of here. Make sure you click on and watch 4th and Short, 7:30 Eastern Time, as we review the NFL and review for the Super Wild Card Weekend. So, hey, we're out of here. On behalf of myself, I'm Kevin L. Warren, your host and moderator, for Darryl D. Warren, for Dorian, the DA Albright, for James, the Angry One Warren, for Mike Mills in his absence, for Dan, the hockey dude, in his absence, for Ryan, our NBA insider and contributor. Thank you, bro. We appreciate it. And for our super producer, JR, this is the Sports Chasers podcast. Be good, be blessed. Make sure you have a great and safe weekend. Make sure, hey, remember, ladies, this weekend is football weekend, all right?
Yeah. Be easy.
Be easy.
Give us a break.
Let that man watch football. We out. Peace.
Give us a break.
Peace.